Okay, we're going to be doing an installation of this Danby window air conditioner today. My first time installing one of these, and I know I've got another video of me doing the installation of a Danby portable air conditioning unit. I'm not sponsored by Danby in any way whatsoever. I just kind of picked these because of this thing here, this silencer technology. And to be totally honest, I don't have any comparison of other, I don't have any like side-by-side comparisons between this unit and another. It's just I look at the specifications online, and those other ones do show that they're like in the neighborhood of 55 decibels, and this one is in the low 40s. So, you know, again, I don't know, but I've been around enough noisy air conditioners to know that I want something that's quiet and it's not going to interfere with, you know, me watching television or trying to sleep and so on. So that's why I kind of lean towards these guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for the benefit of anyone who bought one of these secondhand or something like that, and they don't have the owner's manual or installation guide, here's kind of the required tools, and it looks like it's pretty straightforward. So down in this section here, these are the things that come with the unit. I haven't yet really kind of unpackaged the whole thing, so I haven't checked to see that everything's in there, but they've got these things numbered, and those numbers correspond to the illustrations down here. That's a pain. So I can see here that this box, I was a little bit worried about it because this had this little dent in the corner of the box. And I was thinking that, okay, well, there's a chance that the styrofoam packaging might have saved it, but it looks like it just so landed on this thing here that there's a crack on that thing. I don't know if you can see that. There's a line right there. So that's kind of a pain in the ass. I've got to go take this back and get one that doesn't have a crack. Or maybe I just deal with it. Glue it up. I don't know. As long as I'm paying full price for this, I kind of want something that's not all busted up, but that sucks. Alright, so that's everything we need. Okay, so the first step is we've got to install this L-shaped bracket onto the top. So this is the front of the unit, the part of the unit that will be inside the house. So you want to orient this tall face of the L bracket towards the front. There's 4 of these little guys. Okay, I think you want these to be pretty secure because these are going to, this bracket is what keeps the unit from falling out of the window. Okay, so the next step is we've got to put these side brackets on. This is what keeps the cold air inside from going outside the window, because obviously the window is going to come down to about here, and there's all this other space on the side of the window, and this is what's going to block the warm air outside from coming in and the cold air inside from going out. At the very top here it says left. This left means left when you're facing the inside of the air conditioning unit. So this is going to go on this side. The one that says right will go to the right of that. So let me get the camera out and you can see. Okay, so I'll take this out. So there's that little channel in there. So you want this end, the bracket, to go in there. And the top end will go in just like that. But before you do that, you actually need to take this plastic bit, which has that little kind of a H shape. These metal little fins go inside of that H, and so the way that you do that is you actually have to stretch out this baffle and then insert it like this. And then once you slide it down, make sure it's in all of 3 of those metal brackets. Okay, and once it's installed that way, then you can put those plastic guards in. So that's how it gets installed. And now, depending on how wide your window is, you should have a nice little barrier. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. So move this table out of the way. Okay, so this says right over here. And again, we're going to pull this out. And slide it down into this. Okay. And once it's all the way down, then we should be able to install. Okay. So that part's actually pretty easy once you know exactly how it's supposed to get together. Okay, so this foam insulation, according to the instruction, that's referred to as the regular foam insulation as opposed to the adhesive. You want to cut this out the length of your window, so it's going to go in right there. Let's just look at this storm window here. It's still on, but the level of this storm window I think is still going to be too high, because even when we take this panel out, what will still remain is this level here, and I have a feeling that that's going to be too high. So what we'll probably need to do is take out the whole storm window system. So I'll score it with a knife here. You can see there's all years of caulking and stuff like that, but it's screwed into the exterior window trim. So we'll unscrew it, score it on the inside, push that out, and then what we'll have to do is, when we take the the air conditioner out and we get ready for winter again, we'll have to install it so this level is lower, because the window air conditioning unit wants to tilt downward slightly as it goes out. So in future years, when we put the air conditioning unit back in, we won't have to go through that same issue. So we'll just take it out, reinstall it in the winter time, but at a lower level. Totally stripped. So make sure you take out the actual window panes before you do that last screw. Okay, so we're getting ready to put the air conditioner in the window. So there should be a little bit of a lip here. So there's the inner sill. And then this recess here, this is where the air conditioner is going to sit. And we're going to put this on. So just pull back a little bit. Get the end started. And then just slowly peel it off as you Okay. Now that is all set. These other supplies out of the way. And one other thing that I've done is I've added a little wood shim here, because yesterday when I closed the window I realized that it wasn't sitting flush against the top, and this should allow the unit to be a little more level with the bottom of this window. We're just going to put the foam back because that's what the first set of instructions say. Okay. Okay. They're in place. We've got the foam on the window. Ow! That hurt. Okay. So that looks much better this time. Get rid of the tape on the ends. Okay, so in the small bag of hardware, you've got these 7 screws, this little stop, which I'll talk about in a sec. These are going to go down here, and those will get screwed down on one on each side. So you've got 1, 2, 3, then 4 and 5, and then 2 screws for this, which is going to keep this window from going up. Okay. Okay, I know it's tempting to want to use an electric cordless screwdriver for these, but when you're going into an old window and you're not quite sure how good that wood is, you just don't want to over tighten and strip that wood, so just kind of want to use the manual screwdriver. And not overdo it. Also, when you're drilling those pilot holes for these screws, you don't want to go in further than the length of the screws. So, okay, so now I just gotta drill a hole for these guys. I'm noticing that this doesn't want to lay flat. Can you zoom in on this a little bit? So this doesn't have enough room to actually lay flat. This bend, at least in my window, needs to come down a little bit further. So I don't think it's a big deal. I'll just screw in that way and just see if we can get it to stay. So it'll go in at a little bit of an angle. I won't expect it to be flat. Okay, so we're going to put this up against the top of the bottom window, and we're just going to drill 2 holes, like with the screws. Let me just mark it real quick. 1. Okay. Alright, so now what we got to do is install the foam inserts that go into this section here. The air conditioning unit comes with these two of these foam sheets, and they're meant to slide into this little bracket right here. So what you have to do is take a measurement, and they actually include this little tape measure. So you can kind of take a measurement here, see how wide you need to cut it, and then you can transfer that and cut it down and then insert it down. So I'm going to say that you can cut this with scissors. So I just got a normal pair of scissors here. Let's see. Looks like it works pretty good. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see this, but one side is very smooth, one side is textured with a little honeycomb pattern. What do you think, Marie? Honeycomb or smooth?
Oh, honeycomb.
Honeycomb?
Mm-hmm.
Like a glove. Alright, so let's see. Oh, and looks like this just happens to fit. So let's see. It's supposed to go between the front window here and the back window. So yeah, that would actually fit and fill up that void. I think actually the installation is mostly complete. The only thing I've got to do is check that the air conditioning has the appropriate downward tilt. So as it goes out, it should have a slight downward tilt to it. And if you take a level across the whole thing, it should be anywhere between 3/4 of an inch to an inch lower at the far edge. So I'm going to take my level, I'm going to go outside, and it probably isn't going to be the most precise thing, but I'll just make sure that I've got a downward. Alright, so I'm looking at this, and if I take a level across here, that's level right there, and that's only about a 1/4 inch drop. But the instructions say 3/4 to an inch drop from the front of the unit to the very back. And so obviously when the window's down like this, I can't access the front. But even still, I doubt that that would give me another 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna just see if I can push the bottom edge inward, and that would make it come down a little bit. The front I can't really pull, it's attached to the window at this point. So my only option is to see if I can kind of push this forward and see if that does anything. So let's see. I'm just gonna hold this here. Okay, let's see if that did anything. It did move slightly. Give me a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things.
No, it looks like it did more.
Maybe that's about 3/8 of an inch. Okay, and there's this little warning that comes with the product. This is actually attached to the outlet or the plug, and it says that after transport and handling you have to allow it to stand upright for 6 hours before plugging it into a power source. And it's been upright for me for well over 24 hours, so I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and see how this goes. Okay, so we've plugged it in. We're going to turn this on, see what happens. Let's see, it looks like it has a few different modes. Right now it's on auto, it's on air condition. You can kind of use the mode button to go through these. I guess that's dehumidifying. This is just the pure fan. This is the auto. So you can set the temperature. I'm trying to see if it feels cool. What do you think? Does it feel cool?
Mm-hmm.
My wife says it feels cool, so that's good. So you can adjust the temperature like this, up and down. We keep it there. Put batteries in the remote. It's pretty awesome that it's got a remote. You can see that we haven't done anything. The clock is the default 12 o'clock. Let's go ahead and see what it does when we press the button. Okay. So now, whatever temperature it had before, it actually said 72 before on the unit, but because the remote says 76, now the unit also says 76. So you can change the temperature just by going up and down here and clicking one down here. Let's get both of them in here. So I'm going to click down on here, go to 74, and now you can see that's changed. Now we're getting ready to install our second unit. We are now upstairs. This is for our bedroom, and in reviewing the instructions, it looks like there's kind of a, let me show you. We've got this installation guide, which is mostly just pictures. Right, there's a few words here that kind of describe what's going on. And then we've got the owner's manual, which has a very small one-page instruction section. The rest is operating instructions. So this is all you get for installing the unit. but I found that there was kind of a disconnect between what was stated here and what is shown here. So this says you use the non-adhesive foam, what does it say? To fit the area of the windowsill that the air conditioner will rest on. So that was that thicker one, this one, and I put that along the bottom, and you'll remember in the other video that I had to tape it to keep it in place. Okay. So, but in this installation guide, it doesn't mention anything about putting any sort of foam on the sill that the air conditioner is going to rest on. Here, I've already cut it to length, so I will get ready to pull that off. Okay, so for this window, because it didn't have storm windows on the outside, these are double pane windows, so no storm windows on this one. I didn't need to remove anything. I'm just going to open it up. I've already placed the adhesive foam on the underside of this window. So as soon as I open it up, I'm going to insert the air conditioner. And again, I'm on the second story, so I've got to be careful not to let it go too far. This window now can come down. Alright. Okay, so now we've got the window closed. We haven't drilled or screwed anything in yet. So the first one that I'm going to do, this one here. And the key difference between this installation and the previous one is that these are actual vinyl windows. So I guess we'll see if it's any different in terms of our ability to screw into this. Okay, so I'm keeping this window down with one hand and with the other to screw into that. Alright. Okay, so now everything is set up. Got it installed in the window. And we've got the remote batteries in. Click that on. 74 and 74. We click down, 73. Remote's working just great. Awesome. Alright, stay cool everyone.